What is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today.
Hey guys, before us today, I've got the 3 brand new 2023 LEGO Marvel Mechs, and I have to just come out and say I was wrong. I thought that these were actually a little bit on the cheesy side, especially given that the joints are not posable, but after having built all 3, this might be my favorite wave of Marvel Mechs yet, so let's get into it. So we have a Rocket Raccoon mech, we have a Thanos mech, and a Hulk mech. These all retail for $14.99 in the US, which is a $5 price increase from years previous. And like I said, the big issue with them is that the joints are no longer posable. So you can't pose the knees and you can't pose the elbows. In most cases, they have like fingers that are posable, like on the Hulk. With Thanos, we have fingers on this hand, and with Rocket Raccoon, we've got fingers on this hand, and most have at least one play feature. So let's take a look at them a little bit more individually and see what the deal is for each one. So we'll start with the Hulk mech, which of course has a brand new Hulk minifigure. He's got the dual molded legs, which are really nice. So you've got purple that goes the whole way around with green feet. The torso, interestingly enough, has like some chest hair printed on it, so that's kind of unique. We can flip it around and see he's got back muscle as well. He's got a smirk on one side of the face with a little bit of stubble, and if we flip that around, you can see he's got an angry face with a little bit of stubble on there as well, which is nice, and he's got black spiky hair to complete the figure. Now that brings us to the mech itself, which of course you can open this front little area here and have the Hulk sit down. Then close that up so that he's in full control of the mech. Now, I'll be the first to say that I'm not a big mech fan, especially for superheroes, because what does the Hulk need a mech for? He's already super strong. Like, what could the robot mech do for him that his physical body couldn't already? But I'll suspend disbelief for just a minute, just for the sake of the set, and show you what we're dealing with here. So, of course, the ankles are posable for the feet, which is nice. We've got some toes on the front, which is kind of funny. Definitely, I love the fact that they kind of play off of the character's physicality. So, like, giving the Hulk toes and big fingers definitely makes sense because it looks like the Hulk. Moving up, we've got some off colors here with a little bit of green shading with the home plate piece. We've got the home plate piece again at the front that kind of makes for like the ripped pants area. Not like SpongeBob's ripped pants, like the Hulk's ripped pants, of course. We can twist at the hips here. We can twist at the, I guess that's a hip joint both ways. So you can twist the hip and you can move the legs at the hip joint. And like I said, the feet move a little bit too. Of course, we've got a shoulder joint here. Once again, there is no elbow joint and the fingers are individually posable. You'll see there's a little clip right in there. So there's a clip on both sides that allows the Hulk to hold this beam piece, which is actually a pretty unique piece in its own right. It's kind of like a gunmetal gray piece with a little bit of building at the top to make it look like it's broken off of a building or something like that. But all in all, that's really all there is to say for it. You can see he's got a little bit of detailing on the back here with the sculpting, and we've got a printed piece on the torso that's kind of like a gamma radiation piece. So all in all, it's pretty good. This is my least favorite of the 3, even though I do like the building. I just can't get over the fact that Hulk really doesn't need a mech, so it does come in last for me personally. Up next is the Thanos mech, which of course has a brand new Thanos minifig. The only thing new about it is the torso, because the head is the reused minifig head from the Infinity Saga line, and he does not have any kind of leg printing or dual molded legs, which would have been nice. As we go through these figures, you'll kind of see that Hulk is probably the best minifig of the 3, but Thanos is really nice. Of course, he's got that Infinity War inspired torso. It's not exactly like Infinity War, but it's very, very close, and it serves the purpose pretty well. So once again, we can lift forward this front piece and then have the minifigure sit inside like this. Just like that. Close it up and it looks great. Just like the Hulk, we've got posable ankles right there. We've got posable legs at the top as well as a twistable hip. Got movable shoulders. The elbows don't bend again, but we'll take a look at each hand individually. The left hand has a complete Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones, which is really, really cool. Back in 2018, when they debuted the Infinity Stones, you had to buy every set in the wave. You had to spend over $200 to get all of the stones, and here you get them all in a $15 set. So that's pretty nice. It's on a ball joint, so you can see it's posable, but I really like when you look straight on that, you know, he's got his hand twisted upward. That looks great. I love what they did for the shoulders too, with these rounded off pieces to give him big, broad shoulders, which look great. Of course, we've got the same mobility on the other side. We've got individually posable fingers here, and you can remove this spinning blade, which of course is inspired by his Infinity War blade, and you could just have him in a mech with no weapon if you wanted. The one downside is it doesn't have a true hand on this side, so the weapon does have to go in his right hand, but it's honestly not a huge deal, and it looks great all around. So I do like this mech quite a bit, and I'm not sure if I like it more than the Rocket one or not. I just know the Hulk is my least favorite, but let's take a look at Rocket and we can kind of decide together. Our final mech of this new wave is, of course, Rocket Raccoon. We'll zoom in so you can see. This is loosely inspired by his Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 outfit, given he's got his orange jumpsuit on, but it's not really based off of a specific version of Rocket as far as I'm aware. He does use the more modern Rocket Raccoon head, which has the goggles printed on the top of the head. Would have been really nice to get this without the goggles printed on top, just for something a little bit different, but it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of the arms on this. I wish that he had brown arms, just to kind of match that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 look a little bit more. And interestingly, this is the first Rocket that I'm aware of that doesn't include a tail piece. So we can remove his gun from his hand and zoom the camera out so you can see that Rocket basically will just stand inside of the mech, which is why he doesn't include the tail piece, because he wouldn't fit in otherwise. But it is kind of interesting that, you know, Rocket is kind of known for his tail, and he doesn't include it here. Once again, we have the leg mobility up top, the mobility at the ankles. He can twist and turn. We've got a nice printed piece on the torso there that would look really good on some Guardians of the Galaxy mocks. And once again, got some shoulder posing, no elbows. This left hand has posable fingers, individually posable fingers, which is nice. And this hand has a twisting piece, which you basically just twist this part here, and it will shoot out the studs like so. So I don't want to, you know, shoot it out because the studs are going to go all over my Lego room, but we do have this little clip here, which you can go ahead and plug his gun into, which I think is a very Rocket Raccoon move, right? To like have his gun be an extra mounted gun or whatever. I like that a lot. As we flip it around, you can see he's got some great brown detailing on the legs, and probably the funniest part is using this brown bush piece for a big old raccoon tail for him, and we've got some thrusters on the back. After having reviewed it, I really think that this is probably my second favorite. The Thanos one just looks so much better, although I will say as far as like in-universe believability, it's totally believable for me that Rocket would build a mech for himself, whereas Thanos probably doesn't need a mech if he has the complete Infinity Gauntlet. But let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts on these sets and figures. Alright guys, well, let me know what you think of these mechs in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.